you'd be surprised at how you would expect when you going into the studio with an artist that is established. You would expect, oh, they're gonna be on some diva, some Devo type, you know what I mean, crap. But in my experience, I've experienced more humble, established artists and more arrogant new artists. It's really, really random. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you think you're a new artist, you would think that they would be the ones just, hey, I'm gonna sit and soak it up and whatever needs to happen. You know, a lot of times the new artists be the ones that walk in like they know everything. And the artists that are established who've had some success and sold millions of records be the ones that be, okay, what do I do? They know how to take direction. You know, and that's a great example of, in order to be a great leader, you gotta be a great follower, you know. And in my experience, you know, I've dealt with a lot of artists. In my experience, I haven't had really any bad experiences with established artists. You know, a lot of people hear people say they have they have nightmares, you know, just terrible experiences with established artists. I really haven't had that. You know what I'm saying? I've worked with some really, really top-notch artists, and it's been, you know, smooth sailing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's so many different definitions of producing, and people really realize what they are. You know, you have your different styles. You have your Quincy Jones, who's like an orchestrator, who, you know, he's the one, you know, that's old school producing. You get you have your rhythm section. Quincy Jones had his rhythm section, the Greg Gaines, the Louis Johnson's on bass, you know what I'm saying, the Jerry Hay doing arrangements, so many different, you know, he has his crew, and then he have his, you know, he get the string arrangements. Like, you know, back in the day, producing was, rhythm section day, vocal day, and, you know, string day, and, you know, it was a big thing, you know, so Quincy basically had to piece everything together, you know. He's not sitting behind a drum machine making beats, per se. Quincy Jones is in his mind saying, okay, I want the sound to sound like this, so this is my crew of people who make that sound that I want to, you know, hear. You know what I'm saying? That's why if you listen to certain Quincy Jones productions, it's a similar vibe to it, a similar vibe to Patty Austin's Every Home Should Have One album and George Benson's Give Me the Night album. It's a similar vibe. It's the same year, it's the same, you know, vibe that Quincy was in, you know what I'm saying, at that point. And Rufus Shah Khan Masterpiece. All them records kind of got the same underlying thing. You know, Brothers Johnson, Light Up the Night album, all that stuff, all those 4 albums kind of have the same theme sonically. You know what I'm saying, what Quincy and Bruce was doing. That's one style of producing. Then there's another style of producing, which is what we do. What, you know, what myself or Pharrell or Jermaine Dupri or Timbaland does. We create, you know, we have all this technology that our imagination can kind of create this technology, you know, through this technology can create what we hear. And for us, it doesn't stop there, though. See, a lot of people think that it stops at the beat, you hand it off to the songwriter, and then the songwriter does what they do, and then like we don't touch the beat no more. We don't touch the record no more. We have to see it all the way through, seen it all the way through to the mix. So for me, what I do is, I'm a musician first. I'm a piano player. And if people who don't, most people know that. If you don't know it, you know, now you know. I play piano. So, and I'm also a vocalist by trade. So I have to see it all the way through. I have to see it through the track, through the song. Even if I don't write the song, you know what I'm saying? I have to listen to what the songwriter did and approve it. If I don't like it, change the hook, this, that, and the third. This is all the process of producing, you know what I'm saying? Even down to picking the songwriters that you are gonna write with, you know what I'm saying? That is producing, you know what I mean? Then you go to the studio and you do the vocals, or you may have a vocal producer. Like there's a part of my team as a vocal producer I work with. He's a great songwriter, great producer too. His name is Adonis Shropshire, but he's like the illest vocal producer I've ever worked with, you know what I'm saying? So like, I trust him, you know what I mean? As a producer, you have to have people around you that you trust. I trust him knowing that the vocals are gonna come out the way they need to come out. And if they don't come out right, I'm the one to say, hey, AD, that ain't really the direction, change it up here, change it up there, and he'll say, cool, and he knows exactly how to adjust. You know what I mean? Being a great producer means you have to have a great team around you, you know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people tend to say that you know, you tend to hear a lot of producers say, me, I'm the one, you know, I made this record, I. When really it's a team. Like for me, my team consists of my engineer, my co-producer, Kendrick Dean, another co-producer, Adonis Shropshire, you know, and then I in and out, you know what I'm saying, between Adonis and Jonte. That's how my team kind of flows, you know what I'm saying? Then I have what you call a sub-team. Well, I've signed songwriters and signed producers under me that are helping me push my product around. So then I have Fatin Horton, who's a hip-hop, you know, kind of like Pete Rock meets Just Blaze type producer, you know, and then I have this guy named Cage who's hip-hop but pop. He understands how to make mainstream, you know, R&B, hip-hop type records too. Then I have songwriters, you know, a guy named Aeon Clark, who's like a phenomenal producer too, but he's a songwriter and lyric melody guy first, and then his vocal arrangements and stuff are crazy. And he did a lot of Day 26 stuff with me. I kind of introduced him through that medium, you know. In fact, he was on Making a Band with me. He had, you know, some really, really, you know, good camera time. If you notice on Making a Band, I kind of played the background. I wanted my team to get to shine because I knew I was making the records. They, you know, they didn't want to film me in there all night making beats. You know what I'm saying? And writing songs. They wanted to film the process. So you know, whatever they felt like, the process of them recording it, not me in there doing it. So when it came to it, I said, hey, you know, I'm gonna put my people in the front because everybody know who I am. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about me. It's about me getting my people on. So that's why you saw Adonis. That's why you saw Kendrick. That's why you saw, you know, Voice, where he's going by his real name, not Aeon. But that's why you saw, you know, you saw these people, you know what I mean? Because I'm in that, as a producer, to be a great producer, you have to be able to recognize your team. You know what I'm saying? Quincy Jones always recognized Bruce Sweeting and Bryan Timberton, always. So in my mind, that's how I'm following his footsteps. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. In that lane. So, you know, I know that was a lot. You know, you guys figure out what that is, but to me, those are the two different types of producing that people try to look at. You know what I'm saying? Then there are the people who just make beats, you know, and you hand them off, and you know that's how you get your, you know, you grind on. That's a hustle. You know, you're gonna get your hustle on. I do not knock nobody's hustle. You know, if you're in there making 20 beats a day and you passing them out, that's, you know, that's another form of producing. I don't knock that neither.